right? Does anybody else realize this? So in my family, we have encountered enough weird bodies that my brother actually wrote a song about them. I'm going to sing it for you if you don't mind right now. When you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror, do you have a weird body? Is your body weird? Weird body. Weird body. So that's a little ditty that we sing in my household. So speaking of weird bodies, I often get told that my dimples are really cute. And so the other day when I got out of the shower, I caught a glimpse of my bare ass and realized that there's a hell of a lot more dimples down there than there are up here. So that must mean that my ass is pretty darn cute. So another weird thing about my body is that it's an alcoholic. I'm 26 years old and I've been sober for 5 years. So if you do that math, I quit drinking when I was 21. And so after 2 years of being a raging yet surprisingly functional alcoholic in America, I decided to go and test my liver and my parents' faith and study abroad in Dublin for a semester.
Oh my goodness.
So I moved into a house with 9 strangers, 7 girls and 2 guys. And naturally, I slept with one of my male roommates on the first night. And the fun was just beginning. So that semester, I accepted a piggyback ride from an Irishman, only to end up on the concrete with a black eye. I made a $95 phone call back to my roommates in Pennsylvania to tell them how much I fucking hate Pittsburgh after the Steelers won the Super Bowl. And then I woke up one morning having fallen backwards in a chair, passed out, sitting up, and laying down in the living room, butt-ass naked. So you remember those 9 roommates I talked about? We had a little discussion that day. And they basically said, either get your shit together or you're gonna die. So that was a turning point in my life. I spent the rest of my semester in Dublin shoving as many pickle-flavored potato chips that I could in my mouth because they have bullshit snacks over there. and listening to enough Death Cab for Cutie to get an angsty teen through puberty. So that was the rest of my semester abroad. And then I returned to America and decided, I'm not done yet. And thus began the summer that I turned 21. So I moved in with a house of people that I didn't know anything about me, and so I accepted a beer on my first dinner and my new life, and then I found myself painting the floor when I was supposed to be painting the ceiling, and peeing in the front yard, and then trying to sleep in the mulch because it was really comfortable. And then I rounded out my summer there by, I'm blanking out because I don't remember any of these things happening in real life. Sorry about that. One of my last dinners with my roommates that summer, I got up from the dinner table, threw up over the balcony, sat back down, and finished my dinner and my beer. So I then went back to school for the first semester of my first senior year. And that first week I passed out in the front yard in a kiddie pool in the front yard of my house. I power washed a hole the size of a basketball in my front porch. I mean, who gives a drunk girl a power washer? And then I lost my ID, my cell phone, and my dignity when I got kicked out of my favorite bar after drinking a dozen Long Island iced teas. So the next morning, I went home to my parents and I said, hey, I need a new purse, I need a new wallet, I need a new everything. Oh, and by the way, I need to get sober. And so, with the help of my family, thus began the journey of sober living Annie. And I'm a girl who at one point in my life thought that rock bottom was getting caught smoking a cigarette by your mother when you were 8 years old, because that happened. But that was not rock bottom, this was rock bottom. And so in case any of you have never experienced this, having to kind of go out into the world sober, it's basically like somebody saying, you're going to go on a first date, oh, and you're going to be naked. Good luck. Good luck. And so, a couple of the things that have been interesting for me to learn how to do sober that I used to do drunk are things like talk to people, Make macaroni and cheese. Wear a bathing suit in public. And get excited about anything. So the moral of this story here is my life is pretty different than it was 5 years ago. Not really in the fact that, I still go out until 5 a.m. on a very regular basis. I'm often dancing much harder than my drunk friends. They think I'm crazy. But the main difference is that I still make all the same bad decisions that all of you guys do, except now I remember them. So, thank you very much for listening to my story.